If you're wondering why Jay is staring off camera the whole time, he's looking at the tiny TV with the Colts game on.
It's not that tiny
facts.
TV, but you're absolutely right. You have 3 young children at home.
Sure.
If
Down to 1 if the Colts
so
lose.
that's my question: is if the Colts lose, the amount of money you have on the Colts to, if they lose, will you have to sell one of your children?
Well, I'll tell you this: if the Colts lose
will
for
Ella-
the shoe,
will
we
Ella have-
won't have any shoes left in the house. Yeah, we'll be selling the shoes.
It's on the show.
Yeah.
With, as we see Tyler Warren keep the game alive here.
Thought he was going to drop that.
I'm streaming the game and it's delayed a few minutes. Please stop killing the game for me by reacting, Jay. And look, this is what he does. He's the ruiner. Just everything that
Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, by the way, 218 yards. Just scores for the.
He's
is that
got
his
a drink
third
for free
touchdown?
Monday.
Is that his third touchdown?
Third touchdown of the day.
Give him the MVP.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Happy Monday. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. And you betcha,
JT.
Jonathan Taylor drinks for free. I believe now minus 350
You
to be
the
Offensive
real
Player of the Year.
MVP. You the real MVP. There you go. By the way, I am not Jonathan Taylor, just to be clear about that. I don't want anyone to get
were
confused.
mistaking you for him.
Well, we're both very quick. We're both very shifty. Obviously, we both hit the hole hard. But I want to be very clear about this. I am not Jonathan Taylor. I am wearing 28, though, in honor of the best fantasy game of the season for the shoe, Jay. For the shoe.
What do you think of this, Jay?
Jonathan Medici, Monday Parlay, Magnolia J will actually be working today and not watching a game the entire show, plus 250. That's correct, that cashes. Connor has seen Shawshank plus 125.
One of my
George
favorites.
Savaricas has never seen Shawshank Redemption.
That's disgraceful. And I really like George, but that's
Barry gives us a Paul Hogan story, plus 400. I think legally Matthew can't actually do that.
Let's see.
that's
What
a
can I say? Here's what I can say that he. Because this is all public. These are the 2 things that I can say about Paul Hogan. I can say about Paul Hogan, and it's a great story that we should do a whole story. But I've done it like how did this get made with Paul Scheer, that podcast. I've done that podcast where I've told this story before. Very long one. The very short version is that Paul Hogan did sue us for writing credit on Crocodile Dundee 3. Paul Hogan lost, and I personally wish he had won. No, it was one of these. It's a very long story, but the 30-second version is that we wrote. My writing partner and I got offered the movie, and we were like, do we really want to write this movie? And then they correctly answered the question. Wait, they want to pay us how much? Because we were supposed to co-write it with Paul Hogan. And but co-write it mean we were going to do all the work, and he was going to slap his name on it.
Yeah.
And so we were like, fine. And so, but we got Paul Hogan's writing credit money, his fee. It was a massive amount of money. And so this is my advice to the kids: if you're going to sell out big, which is what I did. Bought me my first house in L.A. Anyway.
Incredible.
But and so we did all that. But then Paul tried to take our name off of the movie. He rewrote it and made it what it was, but he tried to take our name off the movie, and that was that had our names not been on the movie in terms of residuals, it would have cost us hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
And so we had to fight to keep our names on the movie, and
frankly, I'm surprised.
Winning.
I'm surprised you wanted me on the show, given your past history with
I
Australia.
don't like Australia.
That's the most serious I've ever seen him look.
Yeah, you're the.
To be fair, Paul doesn't represent the entire nation.
But a
of
large
Australia.
portion of the perception to America.
I disagree. He certainly does. No, I will.
What about Hugh
listen.
Jackman?
No, Hugh Jackman. There's 2 Australians
Hugh
that I
Jackman
love.
and Jay Croucher. Nicole
2
Kidman.
Australians I
3.
love.
Tame Impala.
I've never met
Yeah,
Nicole
Tame Impala.
Kidman. I have met Hugh Jackman. I've interviewed him before. Lovely guy. Love Hugh Jackman. Chris Hemsworth. I've met Chris Hemsworth. I've been in a movie with Chris Hemsworth.
I went to school with him.
Also lovely.
Yeah.
I
went to the same high school.
Yeah,
Not
same
at the
high
same
school.
time. Yeah,
I had
we were
lunch
raised
with Chris Hemsworth once. Anyway, so those are my two top Australians.
Yeah.
Is Hugh Jackman and Chris Hemsworth.
Jay somewhere 3 to 12. Yeah, that's kind of right.
You're
not
above
bad.
Paul Hogan.
I'm above Paul Hogan, yes.
Potentially in the top 10.
Yeah, who knows?
They're looking up.
There we go.
Oh, dear.
Nicole Kidman's pretty great. So is Men at Work. So is
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Naomi Watts, if we can claim her. There's some
Naomi
dual
Watts is
citizenship going on there,
Naomi
but
Watts is great. Olivia Newton-John is.
Steven is in the back, just slowly dying, muttering Colts-Falcons.
Let me bring us back on it, because if I could make Jonathan Taylor an Australian citizenship, I'd give up my own citizenship to do it. So I want him part of the nation. I want him part of the movement.
As well you should. I don't know that there's anything to take away from Jonathan Taylor other than just to celebrate an unbelievable game for him. It's the most fantasy points in a single game since Josh Allen had that 51.9 in Week 14. Fifth game this season of 30 or more fantasy points this year, guys. He's not going to win the MVP of the NFL, although I think you can make a strong case that he should.
I don't think he will.
But he is the fantasy MVP to date based on production and where he went in drafts. I think the more interesting Colts conversation here, Jay, and you are our resident Colts man, are twofold. Daniel Jones, is it just that he's out of the country? Because
well, he wasn't great on the stateside last week against the Steelers either, to be fair. He's got to stop fumbling 6 times.
Six fumbles, 4 interceptions over the last 2 weeks. He as we head into Monday Night Football, he's just QB 15.
Yeah, okay. So one of the interceptions was the end of the half against the Falcons. Like, there's 13 seconds left. Doesn't matter. He's taking a shot downfield. You got to over-index on aggressiveness there. It was like a tip ball against the Steelers. Look, I don't think it was great. I think the more interesting thing, though, is that the Colts have been dropping back a ton in this offense. Like, people think this is Jonathan Taylor's offense. Well, they throw the ball a fair bit until yesterday. And it was almost like if you watched the game, you could see the confidence in Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones get kind of drained out of his body. And it was just like, we're going to let Jonathan Taylor win or lose this game for us.
Yeah.
I think the thing
Which was the right decision.
Yeah. Look, this Colts team, they just gave up 2 first-round picks for a cornerback. Like, they're all in to win the Super Bowl.
Of course.
They're not going to give up on Daniel Jones. Like, this is a very smart coaching staff. They're going to hit the bye now. They'll figure out some stuff. They've got to work out some of the protections. Jones has got to keep better security of the ball. He just didn't play well the past 2 weeks, but I think he showed enough the first 7 or 8 games to believe that he's going to turn it around. The weapons are just so good as well. And also, I will say one thing. Game on the line, overtime, 2nd and 9. Shane Steichen draws up a 7-step drop for a deep ball basically to Tyler Warren that Daniel Jones completely nails and it wins them the game effectively. So I think it'll be fine, the passing offense.
So a couple of things here real quickly on that. First off, thank you so much for that detailed breakdown of the end of the game. The rest of us were on national TV, but I'm glad that you were able to.
I can't be on TV during Colts games going forward.
I'm glad you were
Didn't
able
look
to.
like it. Didn't look good.
I'm glad you were able to. Able to focus on that as well. I will say, I think your best call of the year, and you've had many, all jokes aside, but I think your best
Bengals
call of the
Super
year,
Bowl, yeah.
you Bengals Super Bowl,
Saints,
Tyler
Saints
Saints
playoffs.
Saints playoffs. You've had many calls. No, but you've made legitimately a lot of great calls on this show for as much grief I like to give you. I think your best call might have been Alec Pierce, who is slowly turning into maybe not even slowly, but like huge game on Sunday, and you were many weeks ago saying, like, this guy is not just a deep threat.
Yeah, I think it was week 2 against the Titans where watching that game. This was part of my lifelong commitment to the Indianapolis Colts, watching these games closely. Just like Alec Pierce is doing all this stuff over the middle, like these in-breaking routes. Like, I thought you were just the deep guy, like a kind of poor man's Rashid Shaheed. He's diversified his route tree, and Daniel Jones has a lot of confidence in him. Daniel Jones, the deep ball touchdown, it's like into double coverage. Like, Daniel Jones chucked it up to him. So I think Alec Pierce, it's difficult because like Downs, Pittman, Warren, they're so good as well. But I think Pierce might have the highest ceiling of their receiver room just because of the deep ball stuff mixed in with the more intermediate stuff he's getting.
He's going to get paid like it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need any proof in the pudding, give it a couple months. He will be paid as the top pass catcher in that offense.
There's no question about that. 2 last things here on Daniel Jones before we move on to the next game or move on to the Atlanta side of the ball here. First off, I think if you've been using Daniel Jones as your QB, which makes sense because prior to the last 2 games, he's been great. I think you need a new quarterback. They're on a bye this week. Then they're at Kansas City. Then they're home to Houston. I think it is 4 weeks before you can use him again, and that is at Jacksonville. And then we will see. By the way, and Jacksonville's been up and down this year defensively, but I don't think you want to use him any of the next 3 weeks. I do not want him on the road at Kansas City. I do not want him at home against the Texans there.
You don't want him the week after Jacksonville at the Seahawks.
No.
So you want him week 16, 17, and 14 maybe, but the one thing about Jones is that he started to use his legs a little bit, and some of that is that they were in a kind of a trailing script. And that is the thing that makes Daniel Jones good and elevates him, is that he can use his legs. He's super athletic. But ultimately, you can probably find a better quarterback.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about quarterbacks tomorrow on the Waiver Wire show. But I do think that his overall season numbers, Daniel Jones, still look pretty good. So, like, if I could sell him for 75 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on the dollar, I would do that. The other thing about Daniel Jones, because chances are there's somebody in your league that believes in Daniel Jones desperately and probably to their fault. Take a look at this clip, because I know somebody just like that.
We're 1 week removed from Daniel Jones stewarding the greatest offense of all time and just piling up touchdowns. And he gets the 1 yard touchdown against the Steelers as well. I think Daniel Jones is I think he's the guy. Anyway, let's move on.
All right. Will you give me Caleb Williams? Will you give me the
anything.
field? No, will you give me the Daniel Jones versus the field in that question?
No. Why would I give you the field?
That's not the question.
You can choose one fighter against Daniel Jones, fantasy points, and we'll pay for dinner in Philadelphia.
Marcus Mariota.
All right, I'll take Daniel Jones.
We haven't had a good dinner bet in a long time.
Yeah.
We're due for
good luck
one.
with Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus Mariota versus Daniel Jones.
Good luck with after dinner. Well, let me just tell you right now, Marcus Mariota, it was junk time.
Yeah.
But he finishes
the same.
It all counts the same. For a man who makes his living betting on sports, you owe me dinner.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'll tell you two things. One thing, you can be on the right side of a bet and still lose, as I was there. Secondly, I'm having dinner with a different friend in Philadelphia, so we'll have to push it further down the track. I'll buy you a cocktail after dinner.
Did I just get blown off on national
You
TV?
actually did.
Yeah, no, we'll figure something out. I'll buy you
And
an
he's bailing
old-fashioned
on
afterwards
the
at
bet.
the hotel bar.
It's outrageous.
He's going to get Wendy's on the way home and hand it to you to
That
your
might
hotel
be-
room. Yeah.
That might be
There you go.
absolutely
All
right.
right. Rain checker. Push down the road. I'll pay for the dinner. You just might have to be in Kansas City. 2 weeks later.
I'll wiggle my way into this during Super Bowl week.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll do dinner at 1587 there, the Mahomes-Kelsey. Maybe I'll
go.
make you buy there. I bet you that place isn't cheap. But it looks delicious. All right, let's move on to the ball. So, Bijan Robinson, Connor, like, I thought he was good coming out of college, but apparently the Falcons, it's now Arthur Smith and now Zach Robinson. No one wants to give this guy the ball near the goal line.
It's infuriating. Tyler Allgeier just keeps getting away with it over and over again. Gemma, by the way, Barry, we need an Alfred Morse level rant on the Falcons intentionally not wanting Bijan to tutty unless he was going to break a 60-yard. I mean, this is not like a fluke at this point. This is exactly who they are. They get in at the goal line, and it's Tyler Allgeier's show.
On the season, in goal-to-go rushing situations, so inside an opponent's 10-yard line, Tyler Allgeier has 13 carries. Bijan Robinson has 4. Think about that. When they get in close, when the Atlanta Falcons, bird up, like to get in close, they've got a chance at a touchdown. They're inside an opponent's 10-yard line. Bijan Robinson literally has 4 touches on the season. Tyler Allgeier has 13. That's more than 3 times. Did that math in my head. I don't want to brag, but I literally just did that right now. 13-4, Jay, explain it.
Well, the problem is
good
like,
at it.
Yeah, the problem is Tyler Allgeier is actually really good.
I know.
And I'm
that's
not
what's
sure
annoying.
it's like the optimal decision to go away from him at the goal line when he is so good in short yardage. This isn't a situation like, I'm trying to think of a clearer situation. Remember when like everyone wanted Felix Jones to get more carries on the Cowboys and stuff, and he had like veterans in front of him? It's not like that, where Tyler Allgeier is actually, Tyler Allgeier is probably one of the top 12, 14 running backs in the NFL.
I think he'll be starting next year.
Yeah.
Because he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Right.
I think somebody will pay Tyler Allgeier to be their workhorse back.
He's always been super efficient. All the underlying stuff has been good at him. And now the tell is that this is 2 different offensive coaching staffs that have believed in him and be like, yeah, this is the right thing to do. They need receivers in Atlanta because it's Drake London and then pray for rain at this point.
Right.
And Bijan Robinson is playing a lot at receiver because they need him out there. So it's difficult.
40% of the team's red zone rushes Bijan Robinson. So literally it's like 60-40 for Tyler Allgeier. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson has 2 rushing touchdowns on the season. I have a question. Go wide, please, if we can go wide here for a second. I have a question. I have a question.
I don't like when
Keep
Matthew goes
following me.
wide.
Following me. Here's my question. Where is he?
We don't have a Bijan Robinson
We don't have
jersey.
a Bijan Robinson. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, see, it's so
Wow,
close.
buried.
That's right. It's buried.
No.
And so it's way down here. Can you see it way down here, way in the back?
The NFL Blitz is
behind
blocking
this.
all of this.
Yeah.
Just take it off.
It's stuck.
It's stuck. Yeah,
This is
cool
not a good
thing.
scene.
This is bad television.
Are we? What are we doing with this? We love you, Bijan, but I'm just. Is it wall worthy? Stephen, put a poll in the chat.
He's wall-worthy.
He's
Come on.
wall-worthy.
He's
Look at this
wall-worthy.
wall.
Come on.
I could probably name 7 guys that he's over the wall.
Chris Olave and Breece Hall get to stay on the wall. Bijan doesn't.
Should we
Hunter on the
replace
wall?
Bijan? I want to poll in the chat. Should we replace Bijan Robinson on the wall with Tyler Allgeier? It's an honest question.
my goodness.
It's an honest question.
I won't stand for this.
This is bad chat. Bijan Robinson's in like the upper 50% of
You can
these
hang it on the
names.
blitz. Yeah, there you go.
Ken Walker's on the wall.
It's not his fault. It's not Bijan's fault. We love Bijan. It's not his fault. But the fact of the matter is that he's now had under 11 fantasy points in 2 of the last 3 games. This is the guy that went top 5 in every draft across the country.
Yeah. Well, but to Connor's point, Tyler Allgeier is a free agent. So everyone who's drafted in the past 3 years.
Next summer, we'll be very excited about him.
Well, sure. But
Bijan's
this year,
gonna be the number one player in fantasy next year.
But my point is I think value him going forward. He's an RB2. He is.
Wow, I'm not sure.
I voted in the poll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you want him back on the wall?
I want Bijan on the wall.
There
Okay.
aren't 10 running backs I'd take over Bijan rest of the
In
season.
fantasy football.
In fantasy football.
It's unbelievable he's still putting up points without basically ever scoring because he's that good and he gets enough touches. It's just not in the
They still
most
haven't played the
ideal.
Saints yet. They still got 2 Saints games. Like he's going to be fine. Their schedule's pretty easy.
Yeah, Panthers, Saints, Jets, Seahawks.
Yeah. See, the Seahawks game not great,
Of
but everything
course.
else great.
Just it's frustrating. Very, very frustrating.
It
I
is.
think, anyway, Drake London, Detective Drake London, friend of the podcast. Actually, both Bijan and Detective Drake London are friends of the podcast, whatever. He's doing Drake London type things here. Let's
good.
move on to New England.
Yeah, New England, massive win against the Bucs here. TreVeyon Henderson finally has his breakout game. They really had no choice. When Ramondre Stevenson went down, Henderson goes off. They had a lot of explosive plays in this game. Mac Hollins, Kyle Williams involved, of course, Drake May. Now the MVP frontrunner right in the middle of it. But in this one, Jay, you see TreVeyon Henderson alone at the top with 28 fantasy points. People have been waiting a long time for this one.
Yeah, TreVeyon Henderson, definitely the story of this game. As you see, Next Gen Stats tweeting that he reached a top speed of slightly over 22 miles per hour on his 55-yard touchdown run, the fastest speed by a rookie ball carrier this season, and 5th fastest by any ball carrier, full stop. TreVeyon, I think it's an interesting one because, one, he's playing a ton of snaps. Like, it's not just that he's housing rare opportunities. He's playing like 80% of the snaps, that type of range.
Yeah,
but
the last 2 weeks, yep.
Ramondre Stevenson will come back at some point, though. Short week against the Jets, so maybe not back. But, like, what do you think, Connor, TreVeyon's scope is to be a guy who gets, 20 touches per game as a running back?
I think when Ramondre is back, that's just not going to happen, whether we hate that or not. And I think TreVeyon Henderson is awesome. He's
why
explosive.
not?
Because this is what veteran staffs do. It's a trust
It's
thing.
like a smart coaching
Yeah,
staff. isn't it?
but hang on for a second though. So okay, fine. He got 25 touches in this game. He's not going to get that. But could he get 15 touches?
Yeah, he said 20. 15 and 20, that's a jarring difference.
But that's okay. But look at the schedule. The Jets. Your Jets.
Yeah,
you're
3 days.
You're in 3 days.
I don't know how you
Thursday,
won. I don't know how you won.
Haven't
that
lost
game.
in 3 weeks, by
No,
the way.
of course, you're undefeated, a juggernaut.
Yes.
You're like the live at noon of the tube of the NBA, of the NFL, I should
Yes.
say. Exactly. Just you're a juggernaut. You're coming back. Don't call it a comeback. But then after the Jets, they're at Cincinnati. Then they're home to the Giants. Got to bye in week 14, but like the Bills don't scare you in week 15.
No, schedule's great for him.
Okay, Ravens defense is definitely getting better, but like that's going to be a great game. Patriots at Ravens in week 16, but at the Jets in week 17 as well. Like TreVeyon Henderson, I think, has the potential to not only lead teams into the fantasy playoffs, but be a real factor down the stretch. After seeing this, you can't put that genie back in the bottle. Do I think Ramondre Stevenson gets a big role when he comes back? Of course I do.
But where does he get the role?
From that,
No, the
again,
goal line.
so yeah, I mean, okay, fine. Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yes, of
TreVeyon
course.
Henderson as a prospect, as
Yeah,
a
yeah, of
player.
course.
It's just they have to have him involved in the pass game if he's going to be.
He's going to be like Bijan.
Starting for you.
He's going to be like Bijan Robinson.
Honestly, he might.
Yeah,
He might have like 15 carries for 80 yards and a catch or two.
Right, and
it's like, cool, I got 11 fantasy
and
points.
a 35% chance that he takes one to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you. Yes.
The key is.
But yes, when they get in close, they will go to Ramondre Stevenson. We completely agree.
Yeah.
The key is for everything Patriots related is just his schedule. Like, that's why people have been very skeptical around Drake May actually winning MVP. It's like, well, he gets to play like the Jets and the Bengals every week. Like, he just keeps on chalking up wins. He can go 14 and 3.
It's hard to find a loss for them for a while.
If they beat Buffalo in the final month of the season, I think Drake May will probably be the MVP. And the thing is,
He's the betting favorite right now.
He's the betting favorite. And he's still got some work to do on Matthew Stafford. Stafford will be the favorite if he beats Seattle next week. That's the big test for Stafford because Stafford's been amazing. I think Stafford would win a vote held today, but Stafford hasn't played a great defense in a while. So it's going to be a big test. But Patriots-wise, like they're going to be in all these positive game scripts because they're going to be big favorites in a lot of these games. And even the games where they're not, like Ravens defense, Bills defense, it's not particularly frightening. So TreVeyon, there is massive upside. There, even if the median outcome is probably a little messy.
Drake made an underwhelming game fantasy-wise, just QB 13 as we head into Monday Night Football, 18 fantasy points, 2 passing touchdowns. He's not really running that much lately.
He's throwing the ball down the field.
Yeah, I mean, he is, and obviously, like Henderson taking the 2, housing it. But I do think, again, when you think of that schedule, I might buy high on Drake May. I'm sure whoever has him in, your league is probably loves Drake May, but I actually think there's ceiling here more. When you look at that schedule and just the way he's continuing to get better, I know that sounds insane, but I actually think I would buy high on Drake May because I think his value is going to continue to go up.
Seems kind of crazy, but he kind of needs Kayshon Boutte back because he's been a huge part of that offense. He's been one of the most efficient receivers in football. He's a big element there, and he was missing yesterday.
Yeah, but they got a little bit of production from Mac Hollins, which was nice.
Yeah, everybody kind of chipped
in. That 54-yarder.
Kyle Williams.
Stephon Diggs with a ridiculous catch on 4th down at the end of the first half for the touchdown.
They're a hard offense to figure out fantasy-wise. And it's because they're so good, but they spread the ball around so much.
Yeah.
So I think they should lean on TreVeyon Henderson. I just am waiting to be proven that they to see that they will.
Hunter Henry, where are you at?
They should. All right. Stunning comeback, or maybe not so stunning with the way the Giants have just played in the fourth quarter this year with the Bears scoring 2 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes. And the fact is Caleb Williams does it with his legs in this one. The touchdown on the ground to seal it. He had 63 total rushing yards. Jaxson Dart hurt in this game, but still put up over 26 fantasy points. Matthew, it's really both of these guys' mobility that makes them so effective, though, in fantasy right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Jay's best call of the year might have been Alec Pierce. I think my best call of the year was in the preseason. I said, I don't know when Jaxson Dart's going to be the starter, but when he is, he's going to be a top 12 fantasy quarterback right away for the rest of the season.
You said the rest of the way. Yep.
And I remember you drafting. I said I loved your strategy for 2, especially in deep leagues or 2 quarterback leagues of pairing Flacco and Dart early because of Flacco's going to be the starter for a few weeks, and then Dart's going to take over, and you're going to have a QB1 that's going to cost, the 2 guys you can get in the 12th round or later.
For free, yeah.
So I love that strategy that you did. We called that at the time. None of this is now Dart's in the concussion protocol, but we see he's had at least 19 fantasy points in every start this year but 1. 45% of his fantasy points has started come from rushing, and that's not fluky. And when you look at the fact that they no longer have Cam Scatterbo, Devin Singletary had the better day numbers-wise. Tyrone Tracy actually got more usage. Neither guy was super inspiring where you're just
the run game is not good.
No, and the run game's got to be Jaxson Dart.
Right. Their traditional run game. Their quarterback run game, it doesn't matter, Jaxson Dart. But now the problem is we've kind of hit the worst fear is that he's probably going to be out.
Yeah, he's been evaluated for concussion 4 times this season, including the preseason, and so I would suspect that he's probably going to. And also, it's difficult to read too much into how a player reacts, but it didn't look good. And he's walking off the field, covering his face. I would imagine that he's probably not going to play this week. And they're so dependent on his rushing and just the way that he plays, he's just going to keep getting these hits. So they need to figure something out there to better protect him. I don't know why they're calling so many design runs. I guess they have to for the offense.
Because you have a coach trying to save his job. And that's very scary for a young quarterback.
It is. And I have a controversial take, which I want to run by you, an Emmy Award losing member of the New York media.
Is what we like to say.
Well, I prefer losing.
Runner-up, honorable mention.
Were you runner-up? You don't know the voting.
I was. I was a finalist.
Yeah. You were a finalist, but you didn't finish second.
One of the
there could have been one of the runners-up.
Yeah. We don't know. They don't announce.
It was Todd Zeal and then everyone else.
To be fair, Matthew, as we covered with Magnolia yesterday, we talked about the film Magnolia for about 4 minutes on the show yesterday. Tom Cruise has never won an Oscar either. He's merely nominated, like Connor. So Connor and Tom Cruise.
I think it's because he does crappy movies like Magnolia. Where are you on Magnolia?
I've never seen it.
Nor should you, by the way. Unless
I've never had someone tell me wow, you got to watch Magnolia.
Right.
I've seen plenty of Tom Cruise movies.
Of course.
Magnolia doesn't.
It is literally.
Now I'll have to watch it.
Right.
You
no,
really like
it's
Magnolia?
That's my favorite movie.
It's
ever?
Yeah.
I know.
No. I'm not saying it's the best movie ever. It's just my favorite, and you don't get to choose my favorite movie. Only I do.
Don't spoil it.
This is true. There's nothing to spoil. It's just it's batshit crazy. Is the movie? I swear to God, that's the premise of it. It's just none of it makes sense. That's the premise of life is random.
Raised the
blah, blah,
flag,
blah, blah.
said favorite? Question mark.
Thank you. Stephen, I demand another poll in the chat right now. And I want another one. Just saying it's Jay's favorite movie is Magnolia. Is that crazy or a good take? I want a yes or no on that.
Yeah,
that's just the bias
poll. The poll should just be thoughts on Magnolia. Good, bad, never seen it. The three options in the poll.
That's fine.
That's better.
That's fine. We'll accept that. But anyway, my crazy take, not as crazy as Magnolia's his favorite movie, but my crazy take is that the Giants should keep Brian Daboll.
Okay.
Brian Daboll was the one leading the charge to draft Jaxson Dart.
Yeah.
He's clearly fit into this offense. They've had their offensive line is brutal. They lost Malik Neighbors. They are piecing it together, right? And yet Dart has still been productive. The challenges of the Giants have been talent deficiencies, especially on defense. Right? They've had leads. They've had these leads that teams have come back on them. Colossal meltdowns. And I don't know that you can fully blame that on Daboll. You want to get a new defensive coordinator. For a young quarterback to change coordinators, you know that Jaxson Dart can be productive in Brian Daboll's system. That's my argument. And you have to build. You've got a franchise quarterback. Hey, congratulations.
They absolutely do.
You have a franchise quarterback. Build around this guy. Don't change all the crap around him. Don't mess with this kid. The quarterbacks in the NFL, for the most part, that have been successful, look at Jane Daniels, comes in, and it's Cliff Kingsbury, right? But think about Trevor Lawrence, who came in and he's had whatever
coaching carousel.
Carousel.
To be fair, he's not good, but
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. But we don't know.
I think we know.
I think we're finally getting the real proof because I think Liam Cohen is a good play caller.
Yes, I agree.
I do too.
And I think Trevor Lawrence is not playing.
Anyway, but you understand my point.
I get the point.
Coaching means look at how long it took Baker Mayfield to find the right system.
Yeah.
Look, I know there's arguments. You can point to Caleb Williams, who from the last game, Caleb obviously looks a lot better under Ben Johnson than he did under the previous regime. But anyway, that's my bold take for the day is that the Giants actually should give Daboll another year with Jaxson Dart and a healthy Malik Neighbors and do some work in the offseason in the draft to surround him with some more talent.
Fantasy-wise.
But at least, the only
Chicago backfield, I think, is
that's
the topic
biggest.
here.
Exactly.
Because Kyle Monangai gets the touchdown, but DeAndre Swift gets the workload, which this kind of maybe lower Swift's ceiling as good as he is from a floor perspective.
But this is what we expected, Jay.
Yes.
I don't think this is a shock. This is
Monangai's
sort of what
not
it should
going
be.
anywhere.
Yeah, I thought there was some scope and upside for this to become more Monangai's backfield. At least the 50-50 split didn't occur. It's still DeAndre Swift's backfield primarily. I think the issue is in terms of supporting two running backs, I just don't think the Bears are that good. I think they're fine, but they're not going to continue to have these game strips. They were down 20-7 to the Giants, who have no players left. And I think ultimately as the schedule gets more difficult, there's not really going to be room for Monangai to be valuable next to Swift, who was still the guy you want in the backfield primarily.
I think he's a touchdown dependent flex.
Yeah.
Is what I think he is. But given how Swift continues to get banged up, I think it's worth keeping him on. The next game, look at their upcoming schedule too, by the way. At Minnesota, home to Pittsburgh, at Philadelphia, at Green Bay. Those are 4 physical defenses. I think you're going to want a guy like Monangai if you are Ben Johnson here. Again, especially because they need to take pressure off Caleb Williams. Fantasy-wise, he's been good. He's fine. He's a top 5 quarterback as we head into Monday Night Football. But he was off target on 19% of his passes. He actually leads all quarterbacks in off-target rate this season, Connor. And since week 4, he's had only 1 game with multiple touchdown passes. Now he's gotten you some rushing.
Oh, yeah.
They've thrown him a touchdown pass. There's been some goofy stuff in there, but Connor, from what you've seen from the tape and just watching the game, I don't feel like he's all the way there. Am I crazy?
He's not all the way there, but it's nice to see him going in the right direction in Ben Johnson's offense. And he's been very vocal about this in the post games. There's a different comfort level. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. Obviously, Ben Johnson, the beauty of him is he could sprinkle in this crazy stuff to kind of help and supplement the quarterback. So, we're not getting the number 1 pick superstar version of Caleb yet, but he's on the path where I love when guys are developing and can fall back on their mobility. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen did that when they were their first 2 years in the league because it makes them
did
viable.
a little bit as well.
Hurts did it. Drake May did it as a rookie. And look at Drake May in year 2. So I love that he has that calling card in his back pocket to fall back on.
I think the other thing, too, is there's this perception that he's got in this amazing context in Chicago. DJ Moore's given them very little this year. The offensive line is better than it was. I don't think it's like one of the elite offensive lines in the league right now. So overall, I think this is a fine year. I think this is a par year for Caleb Williams, and he continues to get better.
Last one thing I want to just mention from this game as well. Very quietly, since Jaxson Dart became the starter, Theo Johnson is a top 10 fantasy tight end. Now, early on, it was like a bunch of touchdowns, and you're so like, he was super touchdown reliant. But 8 targets, 7 for 75 in this game. He's tight end 7 heading into Monday Night Football. And again, Giants, home to Green Bay, at Detroit, at New England are the next 3. Then they're on a bye. I just think Theo Johnson is, they're looking for answers in that passing attack. And so, again, we'll see if Dart, clears concussion protocol by next week. But
Theo Johnson's kind of like what Mason Taylor was supposed to be a month ago. Right?
Yeah,
because they could throw the ball forward.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Darius Slayton got banged up again in this game, but might be okay. By the way, Raise the Flag is informing us that on Rotten Tomatoes, Magnolia is the number 16 film for Tom Cruise from the critics.
Okay, but Tom Cruise has done like 60 films.
16's not great.
Hang on. But who's the director of it? It's like Paul Thomas Anderson, right? It's Paul Thomas Anderson. Hey, Raise the Flags. Go look on where it ranks on Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
Paul Thomas Anderson's like the greatest director of the past 30 years.
I understand. And so where is it in his ranks? It's not
like
even his favorite movie.
I'm doing a
like
horrific job hosting the show today.
It's like saying that Jonathan Taylor's 83-yard run's not even one of his 5 best runs because he's Jonathan Taylor. That's all right.
Jags-Texans in a game, if you had the spread in this game.
Jags-Texans, let's go.
Oh,
never in doubt.
A hilarious ending. But did one of you on the
We were
side?
both on it, yeah.
Yeah,
Matthew
One and a half?
We both bet it fairly big. What's big for me is very different than what's big for Jay, but we both put a lot of money for.
Viewers may think that's the other way around, but anyway.
What was your reaction when you were dead in the water when the 2-point conversion didn't go through?
Yeah, Matthew lost faith down 17-0. I never lost faith in Dave Simmons. I knew he was just biding his time for the comeback. Here's the thing. It's like, it's so terrifying
throughout the game.
It's so terrifying. Like, as soon as we scored the touchdown, I'm on the team, another AFC South team of mine. But as soon as we scored the touchdown, I texted Matthew, like, we left him too much time. They got a guy on the other side and kick it 70 yards. Like, this is way too much. It's just like in a dome.
Yeah, they've got a kicker in
He's
Cam
good
Little.
off the kick return.
They needed to get 12 yards,
Yeah.
and they would be in range, and they couldn't get the 12 yards because the Jags' offense is a mess. But overall, I thought, Matthew, the strange takeaway out of this is that the Texans are able to run the ball like fairly efficiently, and Woody Marks looked really good.
16 of the team's 22 running back touches, a season-high 78% snap rate. He also got 4 goal-to-go rushing attempts, only 4 total in his first 8 games. Now, again, Texans were in comeback mode for much of this game, so he's the passing down back. But I don't want to read too much into this because we've seen this before where, like, Woody Marks is taking over this backfield, and Nick Chubb is still hanging around. But I do feel like since week 4, he's been a top 20 fantasy running back. I do think he's very much flex-worthy. To the eye test, he is their best running back. He is the most explosive guy they have in an offense that needs to continually get better. In a comeback mode with Davis Mills under center, the Texans lead Jay and I to glory, and that cash is for us.
It was such a strange feeling because as soon as they crossed midfield on the final drive, I'm sitting there being like, don't pass, ever. Let's see them have a run that goes for less than 7 yards.
Right.
Like, they were just gashing the Jags on the ground. And I think, look, we spoke about it yesterday on the show, Matthew, but there's this perception about the Jags defense being, like, solid or competent. This is the worst defense in the NFL last year. They've been hugely dependent on turnovers. They gave up 35 points to Matthew Stafford with no Puka Nacua. They gave up like a 100th percentile success rate to the Chiefs on that Monday night game they happened to win. They gave up 29 to Geno Smith, who looks like he's going to be out of the league in a year. Like, this is a bad defense.
And they let Davis Mills.
They've just shredded them.
Yeah, after like the first quarter, he got going in this game.
This also, like, this game shouldn't have been as close as it was. It was like 17-0 with like just the most bizarre stuff. Parker Washington, your man, gets into the end zone.
Huge Parker Washington day.
Yeah, I had an uncomfortable amount of Parker Washington yesterday, as I discussed on Fantasy Football
through it. I knew something was up.
But just I had to play him against Jay. Just a bunch of leagues and a bunch of guillotine leagues as well, where I was just like desperate. And so he pays off as well. He gets the special teams touchdown as well, but 7 targets, 3 for 33. Over the last 3 games, 15 fantasy points per game. Jacoby Myers doesn't do much in his debut, just a 50% route participation as well. We'll see BTJ's health next week as well. They play the Chargers next week, which is not an easy defense, but I do think Parker Washington is a viable wide receiver 3 moving forward. It was nice to see Travis Etienne get all the work that he did. 45 touches over the last 2 weeks for Travis Etienne and a season-high 17% target share. I thought that was interesting. Starting to use Etienne more in the passing attack. That's important here. Last thing on the Texans here was just, Dalton Schultz since week 7 is the 6th best tight end in fantasy football. Like he's a catch and fall tight end.
Massive volume,
but
insane volume for a tight end.
Yeah. Just wanted to point that out.
Jags are no good, Connor. They're no good.
No.
I fear that as a Colts man, I fear the Texans in that division a little bit. The Texans are very far back, but I think the Texans are actually a good team. Jags aren't good at the moment.
They saved their season with that win.
Jags need to get healthier. To be fair, they're missing a lot of players at the moment, but in their current state, they're not a team that you want shares of.
No.
Rams-Niners, guys, another demolition from Matthew Stafford here, where he throws for 4 touchdowns and no picks. We got a question weighing in. Raise the flag.
Here we go. Doing the research
it's
for
Paul
us.
Thomas Anderson's 10th highest rated movie. Granted, it's still certified fresh.
It's 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. You're acting like it's a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
I'll watch it and give my take.
Yeah,
there are interesting moments in it. It's well acted. It's all well put together. Just the idea that it's your favorite movie is insane. That's the problem I have with it.
It's a ridiculous take. I don't get to choose my favorite movie.
I know I don't get to choose
I'm the only one who live my life.
I understand that.
I'm not saying it's the best movie. I think There Will Be Blood is a better movie than Magnolia. So I'm choosing it as my favorite movie.
I understand.
It's like yesterday, there was this 25-yard run that I really liked from Jonathan Taylor. It was my favorite run of the day. You don't get to choose what my favorite Jonathan Taylor run of the day
is. The 83-yarder better.
You're right. I do not get to choose your favorite movie. I can just make fun of it, is what I intend to do.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh, don't.
We do not want to get started onto this whole thing.
Tomorrow, it'll be
name.
continued.
You will also hate this one, too. My favorite movie of all time is The Princess Bride.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to.
The Princess Bride
let's talk about Rams-Niners.
Is a cult classic.
Yeah, all right, we got 5 minutes to get through 3 games. So
Rams-Niners.
Rams-Niners here.
But I will defend that I will defend that hill.
Matthew Stafford, 27 fantasy points. He's atop the board in this game because he threw for 4 touchdowns for the 3rd straight game. He leads the NFL with 25 passing touchdowns. And Jay, he is now the runner-up on the MVP odds board. Like you said, that can change with a win over Seattle.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, too, if the vote were held today, I do think Stafford would win. I think he's got the best numbers overall. My only concern, so we're projecting forward, what is his value going to be? Because right now he's being propped up a little bit by the fact that he has 13 touchdown passes his past 3 games. But against the Jags, Saints, and whatever is left of the Niners defense without Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, and Michael Williams, etc. He hasn't played a lot of great defenses, and he's so dependent on these touchdown passes for his fantasy value. He can't, he's not very mobile. He's been phenomenal this year. He would be deserving of the MVP. I am very curious to see how it's going to look against Seattle this week.
That'll be the big test. But by the way, after that, home to Tampa Bay, at Carolina, at Arizona, with the exception of the Seahawks. You love that schedule. And so do we think Matthew Stafford's talent is a fluke? We don't. Do we think Sean McVay's play calling is a fluke? We don't. Do we think Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are 2 of the best wide receivers in the NFL? Of course we do. So it's like none of this is – he's at a very high touchdown rate. Normally in previous years, when they get in close, they've given it to Kyron. But Kyron still scored 2 in this one. He's had at least 16 fantasy points in 4 of the past 5. So, listen, Stafford's QB2 heading into Monday Night Football. Is that what he is? No. But is he a locked-in QB1 the rest of the season? Of course he is.
Yeah, no, I agree. And to your point, he plays Seattle twice the rest of the way. Outside of that, should be pretty smooth sailing, I think. And, look, these might be the 2 best teams in football right now. Rams and Seahawks.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs,
it's a conversation.
Yeah, Chiefs probably still have to default to because it's Mahomes and Reed, et cetera. But this could be an NFC title preview.
Devontae Adams hurt his back in this game, didn't come back. Yeah. McVay said he could have returned if they needed him.
Obliques are tricky.
Yeah, let's watch that.
Also,
older player.
Oblique. It's the most centrally located oblique I've ever seen. He's grabbing at his back. I don't know. It was strange. But they said he could come back, so it seems like it'll be okay.
Seems like, but we'll obviously track that. I don't know that there's anything to take away from the San Francisco. They just got their ass kicked here. It was nice to see George Kittle, friend of the podcast, George Kittle, get kind of the work here. He hadn't really shown a connection with Mac Jones, but 23% target share, a ridiculous touchdown catch in junk time for fantasy managers. Yes. Thank you, Kittle. But I think Juwan Jennings, who, we've always liked the talent, he just finally feels like this is Juwan Jennings, right? I mean, back-to-back games where he's had a touchdown, 100% of the team's red zone targets over that stretch, and over the last 4 games, a 24% target share. I think Juwan Jennings is back, and just especially because it doesn't seem like there's any timetable for Brock Purdy to ever return.
Well, I think he might play this week. That was the implication. Shanahan.
Pearsall's the weird one.
Yeah,
we're getting no positive news forward for Ricky Pearsall.
And he's not on IR.
No.
Neither of these guys are playing like
this. Is not going anywhere positive. Our last game, guys, the Lions absolutely blow the doors off your Commanders, Matthew, and a game that was over pretty quickly. Jahmyr Gibbs goes nuclear. Jared Goff has a really good day. I think the story is Dan Campbell was calling the plays, Matthew.
Yeah,
Jameson Williams was involved.
That's the point. Season 9 receiving yards and fantasy points. He's now had 16 fantasy points in 3 of the last 4 games. Back-to-back games with a red zone target. I do think, previously we were like, look, they're just not involving Jameson Williams. We love the talent, but they have so many mouths to feed. But now with Dan Campbell calling the plays, and maybe that was one of the things that he said to John Morton was like, get Jameson Williams involved, and then he does, and he's just like, screw it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Now, a ridiculous matchup. A shout out to my buddy Pete Overzet, who in the Fantasy Life newsletter this morning wrote, apparently the Commanders' defense is part of the government shutdown, which I thought was a pretty good line and accurate, by the way. They
got nothing.
We got nothing. I told you, you thought they might cover.
Yeah, I thought they might. They did not.
Shut it all down. I don't want us to win another game. I want a good draft pick. We need to reload this. There's a lot. We got to build around 5. We got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Good to see Jahmyr Gibbs get off the schneid here.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to take away from this team.
Let me tell you.
I have one last thing. Chris Rodriguez was the better running back than Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. There is a change there. Not that we've been able to use Bill the last couple of weeks here, but we'll talk more about this tomorrow. Chris Rodriguez will be on the waiver wire, but just there's a changing of the guard.
We're tracking with that shoulder.
If he's healthy.
Bam Knight, Jaxson Dart with a concussion, Terrell Jennings, Devontae Adams with the oblique, Garrett Wilson left the game with a knee, DJ Moore with the shoulder. Bateman, that could be a significant ankle injury. Dalton Kincaid with the hamstring, and Aronde Gadsden left the game in the 3rd quarter with that knee injury.
Oh, that was brutal.
As well, not good.
He was part of my parlay. He had 6 targets in the first half. The theory was right, Jay Croucher.
TJ Watt had the sack.
TJ Watt did have the sack. I don't know how loud McConkey got caught. That would have been. Right, I'm just like, Tarico literally says, he's gone.
He was like, he's gone.
He's gone. I don't know.
Weekend Warriors Sunday
bummer.
Scaries after this.
Have you ever seen Princess Bride, by the way?
I have.
It's a terrific movie.
The chat's defending you.
That's how you play football, bro. When we play cover-in football on all levels, bro, I don't think no team in the NFL really can. Right? They can't, y'all see the put in week out, bro, and that's how you go out there and make it. There you go. There you go. Like you hurt. There you go, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Weekend Warriors, that was the celebration in the Miami Dolphins locker room after a monster win, blowing out the Bills on the legs of Devon Achane. 22 carries for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns, also had 6 catches. But we have some breaking news. Before we get into any of this, Brian Daboll is out as the Giants head coach per Adam Schefter.
Now, you remember 5 minutes ago when I made my big plea about how the Giants should keep Brian Daboll? Apparently, the front office does not watch Fantasy Football Happy Hour, or if they do,
they faded your take.
They faded my take. This is a bummer. I like Brian Daboll. I get it. I get it, right? You know, like, it has not gone the way Giants fans and management has hoped. I think he's being made a scapegoat for a bad roster and some bad injury luck.
If they keep Joe Schoen beyond this season, I would find it odd. But I think they both needed to go, personally.
I just don't understand why this didn't happen before the season. Like you're entering a lame duck year.
Yeah.
And now it seems, I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning was, but it seems like Jaxson Dart getting these concussions and being put in danger is maybe, it feels from the outside, maybe an element of not wanting a coach coaching for his job with a young quarterback who's continually getting hit like this. But I don't know, it just seems like all a mess.
Yeah, I just look. We can get into it, and we'll get into it more, and find out the play calling. But but this was the take that I had in the offseason. I just said, look, you either fire Daboll and Schoen before the draft and have a whole new general manager and coach that can draft their players, or you goes an extension and you say, hey, go get it, because then what happens is what did happen this year is that you have a coach fighting for his job, and you have different motivations, right? You need to say, like, hey, we've got a young quarterback, like, let's develop him. Don't worry about trying to win wins and losses. Like, the Giants are not a coach away from competing. No. They're not.
Yep.
Like they did the most important thing this year is they found a franchise quarterback.
Right. It's tricky.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
No.
And I thought Daboll did a nice job developing him. And again, they lose Malik Neighbors. That's not Daboll's fault.
Well, maybe Daboll can go back to Buffalo and help Josh Allen, who got run over by our weekend warrior, Devon Achane.
I think that bridge is burned with him, and things didn't seem to end well there. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Desperate times. Anyways, like you said, our weekend warrior, Devon Achane.
Maybe he winds up in Washington when Cliff Kingsbury takes one of the one of 8 billion college jobs that are open. I could see Daboll getting at one of these college. There's so many college jobs that are open and there's no good candidates.
NFL guys don't want to go back to college because they hate
the NIL stuff.
Yeah,
I get
Kingsbury
that.
wants to go to Kotal and hang out on the beach. Seemed to work well for him last time. I like it.
Anyways, our next
Daboll
weekend warrior, Trey
Anyway.
McBride, who's loving life with Jacoby Brissett. He caught 9 of 13 targets, 127 yards, and a touchdown, Matthew. Touchdowns are back for Trey McBride.
Yeah, you know what? So Trey McBride needs
Don't go
better real estate.
No, Trey McBride. But I feel like he needs to move up. Someone tell Pete we should have rearranged some of these things.
No one knows who he is.
McBride's way too far in the back, and then you see right here. Here's Achane here. I think Achane needs more screen time as well. Huge game for Devon Achane. I played a guy that had Jonathan Taylor in the morning. I'm like, well, my game's over.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
And then Devon Achane roared me back to life. I'm going to beat that guy, assuming Josh Jacobs does some stuff tonight as well. But Trey McBride in the 5 games and the 4 games that Jacoby Brissett, our hero, Jacoby Brissett, this season, he's got 5 touchdowns. He's got 5 touchdowns in 29 games with Kyler, and he's got 5 touchdowns with Jacoby in just 4 games. Jacoby Brissett understands the assignment.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, he's a guy that just gets the ball out, and I know it was a brutal start for Arizona yesterday, but even in a massive passing script, you're getting your fantasy points to their pass catchers, notably Trey McBride.
Absolutely. Connor, your man Breece Hall looked very Breece Hall-ish. Looked like rookie Breece Hall on that long one. But I don't know how the Jets won that game, but Breece, they're going to keep running the ball, and it's going to run through Breece.
Finally, featuring him.
Yeah.
No Braylon Allen. They're not featuring Isaiah Davis as much, and they trust Breece, and Fields can't really do anything, both on the ground and through the air. So it's just all Breece Hall, and Breece Hall looks healthy and explosive again, finally. And the offensive line played really well against a tough Browns front.
They really did. They're at New England next week. That's going to be a tough matchup. But again, the use of the passing game work. Now, we don't know who the Jets quarterback is going to be. Aaron Glenn
never will.
We never will until the game starts. The dumbest thing of all time.
I love his, when people say, why won't you tell us? He goes, because I don't have to. It's very funny.
That's fair. You should. Hey, what's your favorite movie, Connor? I'm not going to tell you. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to.
I don't have to.
Let us wonder. One thing we don't have to wonder about is Chris Olave's usage.
X-Men.
31%. You think it's X-Men?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
I think it's
X-Men 3 lost.
You're not going to get it.
I think it's Avengers Endgame, which is objectively the greatest movie of all time. Let's be clear. Chris Olave had a 31% target
Steel
share.
Magnolias?
Oh my God. Oh my! Fried green tomatoes.
Jeez.
Thelma and Louise.
I have seen both of those.
Look. No other Saints player was above 16%. Chris Olave understood the assignment. They're on a bye this week, but the most important thing here is that Tyler Shuck has not cratered Chris Olave's fantasy value. That's the big takeaway here.
Look good.
He was
Almost
fine.
300 yards.
Yeah.
If anything, he's elevated Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Can you take me higher? Apparently you can.
Yeah. Big game from Lad McConkey. Should have been even bigger. I don't know how he got caught on that touchdown as we
He
talked
doesn't know
about
how he got
here.
caught. He was laughing when he got
It
up.
was ridiculous. And shout out to the Seahawks defense.
Best in the league.
Unbelievable. They've had double-digit fantasy points in 7 of their past games. They are the number 2 defense in fantasy so far this year, and it is not a fluke. They are ferocious.
I think Mike McDonald might be the best coach in the league.
Yeah.
He's awesome. And credit to him for hiring Clint Kubiak. It's just the perfect marriage of defense and offense. Let's rip through
Where
the
is
Sunday
Sam Darnold
Scaries.
on the MVP votes? Because
He should be top 4.
Yeah.
Should be top 4.
If he didn't throw a ball directly into someone's helmet yesterday, the stats would look even better.
They would. McDonald, I think Steichen will win Coach of the Year, but McDonald should be right there.
Vrabel as well.
And Vrabel, yep, he's in the mix.
Sunday Scaries, guys, headlined by both Vikings wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, 4 catches on 12 targets for 37 yards. Jordan Addison just feels sunk in fantasy right now, Matthew. 3 catches for 25 yards.
They're hiding J.J. McCarthy. They don't want him to throw. They're hiding
Doesn't
him.
really look great.
You know,
when they do that.
like
7 for 23.
I mean, I know Jalen
That was
Naylor.
a hot start.
Look, Jalen Naylor had a nice game here, but in the 4 starts that Justin Jefferson has had with J.J. McCarthy, he's averaging 12.6 fantasy points per game. He averaged over 16 with Carson Wentz. Not that 16 was great given the skill level of Justin Jefferson. Better than 12. It was his first game of the season with under 10 fantasy points, but he's been back-to-back games with under 50 receiving yards. I don't know that there's anything you can do. You have to keep starting Justin Jefferson, but you're lowering expectations, and I don't think you can start a Vikings pass catcher until we see more from J.J. McCarthy.
Don't think you can start DK Metcalf either.
I agree.
Aaron Rodgers looks completely done.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to get through the end of the season with how bad he looks. Finally, also, you can't even if
you have the floor.
You can't start Justin Fields. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, he threw for 54 yards, and 42 of them were on Breece Hall's screen pass touchdown. So
He's about 4 yards through the air.
I mean, there's so many
running efficient.
11 pass attempts in this game, and a game they won.
2 kick return and punt return touchdown.
3.5 air yards per attempt.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
I mean,
it's
honestly,
all. And Garrett Wilson's now hurt.
But when Garrett was out there, Fields couldn't get him the ball.
Yeah,
Could
it's
not
a
get him the ball.
disaster.
Anyways,
other than Breece Hall, it's a disaster. Our Mason Taylor dreams, those are dead. We have to hope for Tyrod.
Yeah, we all are.
Tyrod,
Pray for Tyrod.
Last call after this, our Monday Night Football best bets. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook.
The round is yours.
It's time for last call. Let's look at the most bet Monday Night Football props on DraftKings. Jay, what do you like on the board or off the board?
I'm going to take Saquon Barkley's longest rush under 18.5 yards. Terrifying bet to watch, given it could lose on any given play. But he's done it once all season.
Wow.
Out of 8 games, so I'm taking
Against the
under that.
Giants?
Yes, last game.
I'm going to take Devontae Smith over 54.5 receiving yards. He's hit this number in 3 of his last 4. 4 of the last 5 games, the Packers have allowed at least 54 receiving yards to 2 different wide receivers. So I think there's a chance that both him and A.J. Brown. Give me the over on 54.5 for Devontae Smith tonight.
I'm going to take Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown plus money, plus 105. Sometimes you have good
Really
stats.
plus money.
Sometimes you have good stats. Other times you just have the law of petty. The Packers were the ones to try to ban the tush push. I bet Nick Sirianni does everything possible to get a Jalen Hurts tush push touchdown
I
tonight.
love that. They are a petty team. There is no question about it. They're also off the bye as well. You see some of these guys here hoping a Monday Night Miracle comes in for you. I'm interested to see what Christian Watson does given the banged up other Packers receivers. I'm
Luke
hoping
Musgrave as well.
And Luke Musgrave
right?
will be interesting to sort of see his debut. All right. Do we have results of these polls yet?
Well, they pulled it, but last time I looked, oh, there we go.
Is picking Magnolia as your favorite movie a crazy take? Yes, 67%. Jay?
I'm actually surprised.
I'm surprised. Yeah, no, it's a good result from No. No fought hard.
Yeah,
no fought hard.
What was our other? But it sounds like that you said the chat was defending me on The Princess Bride.
You had a lot of people that really are Princess Bride appreciate.
It is a cult movie. Like if you're like they have, anyway. We'll talk about it tomorrow. For Jay and Connor, I'm Matthew. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.